My name's Colonel Jeff Pixley. I'm the commander of basic military training. Thank you for joining the United States Air Force. Thank you for raising your hand and promising to give of yourself, to sacrifice, to do something that most Americans never do. You probably want to know how to be successful in basic military training. Fight for yourself. Don't give up on yourself, and when you're about to, work with each other, lean on each other, because you'll be successful when you're a team.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
When you leave basic military training, you're going to understand how to wear the uniform. You're going to understand what it is to live by the core values, and you're going to know the value of your teammates. If you live up to my expectations, you'll be here 7 weeks from today, and you'll be about to graduate.
At this time, we'd like to take a moment to inform you of the specific flight locations on the parade field as viewed from the bleachers from your left to your right. Flight 526, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Jones. Flight 527, led by Technical Sergeant Nicholas Stump. Flight 528, led by Technical Sergeant Tellish Pollock. Flight 529, led by Technical Sergeant Sabrina Martin. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 530, led by Staff Sergeant Susan Jenks. Flight 531, led by Technical Sergeant James Himes. Flight 532, led by Technical Sergeant Brandon Rodriguez. Flight 533, led by Technical Sergeant Nathan Johnson. In the center of the parade field is the color guard, led by Technical Sergeant Corley Ryle. The Drum and Bugle Corps, Flight 541, led by Technical Sergeant Aubrey Thrower. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are Flights 539 and 540, led by Technical Sergeant Sarah Giard. Flight 534, led by Master Sergeant Joe Lovick. Flight 535, led by Staff Sergeant Christina Prada. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 536, led by Staff Sergeant Jeremy Hanadik. Flight 537, led by Staff Sergeant Marissa Grantham. Flight 538, led by Staff Sergeant Joey Belts. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Gwynn.
If it is your custom, I invite you to join with me in prayer this morning. Gracious and almighty God, we pause and thank you for this joyous occasion that brings us together as airmen, leaders, families, and friends. We celebrate on this special day of achievement these airmen of the 321st Training Squadron. We recognize the sacrifices that made them become the members of the world's greatest Air Force, the separation from family and loved ones, the weeks of training, the physical demands, and all that brought them here ready today, ready to serve. May these warthogs of the 321st Training Squadron always seek to lead, follow, or get out the way. We recognize that these airmen did not arrive here on their own, so we thank you for their families and friends who have equally made sacrifices to make this day possible. We offer our gratitude of the men and women of the 321st Training Squadron who invested countless hours of leading and investing and guiding and training, seeking to foster responsibility and integrity. Loving God, we ask your blessing upon these families, friends, and instructors and staff for the investment they have made in these airmen. We thank you, O God, for these airmen who have entered into the service of our nation with the solidarity of the words of the prophet Isaiah, saying, "Here am I, Lord, send me." O God, would you send them as agents of light in the midst of darkness, peace in the midst of chaos, hope in the midst of distress. May you empower them with your strength, equip them with your wisdom, encourage them with your presence and guidance. For these men and women about to graduate, and for all military personnel deployed around the world, we ask in the words of the prophet that the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you grace. It's in your most holy name we do pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host and reviewing official for today's ceremony, the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training and 1990 graduate of Basic Military Training, Colonel Jeff Pixley, accompanied by his wife, Andrea. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training and 2003 graduate of Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Dan Anderson, accompanied by his wife and 2004 graduate of Basic Military Training, Stephanie. From the graduating squadron, the Commander, 321st Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Stowers, accompanied by his wife, Bobby. The Operations Superintendent, 321st Training Squadron and 2009 graduate of Basic Military Training, Master Sergeant Jordan Gonzalez. Also in attendance with us today, the Vice Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel John Odell. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Technical Sergeant Garen Hunt. Colonel Jeff Pixley will review today's ceremony.
They told me last time to make sure I moved it. You can come.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of our 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibility and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. (737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas). Subject: Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence streamer is awarded to the Flight 535 for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 20 June 2022 to 5 August 2022. Signed, Jeff Pixley, Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's Excellence Flight was led by Technical Sergeant Bradley Middleton and Staff Sergeant Christina Prada. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors.
March the command in review.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates passing in review today present a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest air and space forces. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the Airmen and Guardians. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass in review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States military in armed conflict. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of serving 26 years to our great nation, Colonel Pixley has deferred to Lieutenant Colonel Stowers to receive the flights as they pass in review. Good luck to you and your family as you prepare for retirement. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow our guests the opportunity to view the flags as they pass in review. Now passing in review, the Commander of Airmen, Technical Sergeant Garen Hunt, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Detroit, Michigan. Band Flight 541, led by Technical Sergeant Aubrey Thrower, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Lafayette, Alabama, performing under the direction of Staff Sergeant Jacob Wright, hometown, Llano, Texas. Flight 526, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Jones, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Flight 527, led by Technical Sergeant Nicholas Stump, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Lancaster, Ohio. Flight 528, led by Technical Sergeant Tellish Pollock, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Laurel, Mississippi. Flight 529, led by Technical Sergeant Sabrina Martin, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Houston, Texas. PT Excellence Flight 530, led by Staff Sergeant Susan Jenks, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Palos Park, Illinois. Flight 531, led by Technical Sergeant James Himes, Military Training Instructor, trainer, hometown, Austintown, Ohio. Flight 532, led by Technical Sergeant Brandon Rodriguez, Military Training Instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 533, led by Technical Sergeant Nathan Johnson, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Greenville, Tennessee. The Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant Corley Ryle, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Raymore, Missouri. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags, Flights 539 and 540, led by Technical Sergeant Sarah Giard, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Arundel, Maine. Flight 534, led by Master Sergeant Joe Lovick, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 535, led by Staff Sergeant Christina Prada, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Wellington, Florida. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 536, led by Staff Sergeant Jeremy Hanatic, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Flight 537, led by Staff Sergeant Marissa Grantham, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Prince Frederick, Maryland. Flight 538, led by Staff Sergeant Joey Belts, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Tars, Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song. Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all of the families and friends who are here in support of those graduating today. Your words of encouragement helped motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States military and basic military training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America for your support of our mission and the greatest air and space power the world has ever known. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Jeff Pixley will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Good morning. Morning. Hey. Well, I gotta ask, don't your Airmen look great? Some of you may be sitting here today wondering why we have 2 ceremonies at BMT. Couldn't we knock this out yesterday? The answer is no. This is special. What you just witnessed was something momentous in the lives of these airmen and in the history of the United States Air Force. When these 700 plus airmen stepped on this bomb run for the very first time to make this transition from trainee to airman off to their technical training, something magic happened. They became part of Air Force history, a history that has lasted for 75 years, where heroes, millions of them, have walked on these very grounds. This is sacred ground you just watched your airmen step upon, following the footsteps of heroes like John Chapman, and regular airmen like my mom and my dad, and my chief, and every MTI that's here. This is sacred ground, and you getting to be here and watch this moment is something that I hope you will treasure for the rest of your lives. I get to do this every single week, and I am never not fired up about what we are witnessing. So thank you for being here this morning. I want to take a second to talk about the veterans in the crowd, and not just our Air Force veterans, every veteran. I'm not going to ask you to stand and identify yourselves, but I want you to know we stand on your shoulders. And every single airman who serves here today serves for a reason. I know from personal experience, many of them are standing here today because of you, because of the example you set, because of the uniform you wore, the stories you told, the tasks that you undertook, the pictures hanging on your walls. Thank you for setting the stage for this amazing moment, for their taking of this baton to serve our country after we're gone. For my military training instructors, I'm sure each of you heard stories about my military training instructors yesterday over dinner. So you know how impressive they are. You know what an impression they've made on your loved ones here. I'm here to tell you, these MTIs are amazing professionals. We take them from across the Air Force, all different AFSCs, and we bring them here, and we make them amazing, amazing tools to build our future Air Force. And the work they do is hard. It takes time away from families. It takes energy and motivation that I sometimes wonder how they are able to muster. It's incredible what they do, and the product you see in front of you is the beginnings of what they have done. The seeds that they have planted here are going to grow over the next 4 years, and I promise, for the rest of their careers, every one of your airmen will remember their MTI's name of influence. So thank you to MTIs, every single one of you, here in the crowd, back in the squad, for the amazing work you do. For the airmen, I know you're ready. I know when you came here to BMT, you were wondering if you would make it. I remember in my 0 week when I told you if you were sitting with me that morning or that afternoon, you could make it. And here you are. You did it. You may be wondering if you're ready to go to war tomorrow and scared that you're not. That's okay. You're not. You're ready for tech school. Your MTIs. MTIs have made you ready for tech school. They've introduced you to core values. You know how to work on a team. You know how to be a part of a diverse group. Treat each other with dignity and respect. And live by our core values every single day in everything you do. But this journey is just beginning. BMT may be about to end, but your growth as an airman is just beginning. I don't want you to forget that. It'd be easy to walk away from BMT and say, I've done it, I've made it, I'm an airman. I'm telling you right now that it takes work every day to build yourself into the airman you want are one day going to become. Because I know in this crowd, statistically speaking, there are future chief master sergeants. It is likely there are future officers, future important senior leaders for our Air Force in this place right now. And if you're not ready for that yet, we're going to build on that every day. When you get to tech school, we're going to give you the tools you need to do your job. But how to be an airman, the stuff that we introduce you to here, you need to continue to work on that every day. Never forget, building yourself as an airman is a daily task. It's not something you do, it's something you are. And that's going to take some time. Now, I know you're not going to remember most of the things I said here today. You're not even going to remember my name. That's okay. Here's one thing I do want you to remember. Of all the things that happened today and yesterday, what I want you to remember is how you feel. How you feel right now, the sense of accomplishment, of having put the work in and done the hard things and become successful at something. You need to bank that feeling, because in the future, you are going to need days like today to draw from the well of today to take on the challenges we're going to give you, because it is the challenges. Your generation of airmen has some huge challenges ahead of you. I know you are ready to be successful. So the question for you is, are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? Let's do it.
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Jeff Pixley will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen.
Thank you, Colonel Jeff Pixley. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and remain standing for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American Airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and defend. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American Airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its sentry and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American Airman, wingman, leader, warrior. I will never leave an airman behind. I will never falter, and I will not fail.
As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flag passes. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. As viewed from the bleachers, to the left of the reviewing stand, flights 526, 527, 528, 529, 530,